అదే సెట్ చేయొచ్చుగా. ఓకే. ఓకే. Am I audible to the last person? Yeah. Over the web. Okay. So today what we do is we learn some more instructions on this. Okay. We'll learn some more instructions on Docker, and not some more, few more. Okay. So and then we would be getting into Docker networking. Okay. Fine. So our flow will be today I'll be discussing on some aspects of basically the Docker file, and then networking. From tomorrow onwards you'll be looking at Kubernetes. Okay. And I want to basically slightly introduce on writing compose files, not for Docker Compose, but we are going to discuss a concept called a stack, Docker stack, a new concept. Okay. So for that we need to understand bits and pieces of how to write a Docker Compose file. The whole point is there is a concept in Docker called as Docker Compose, which is used to create 2 or 3 machines or 2 or 3 containers at one shot. So for example, now if I want to create 3 containers, what is my command? I have to run docker run thrice. Okay. And if I have to stop these 3 containers at one shot, then I have to basically know the container IDs of these 3. So rather than maintaining containers like that, we will be writing a file, and from that file we'll be using Docker Compose commands. That was a older architecture. But the problem with Docker Compose was never fit for production, was never good for production. So what Docker has done was they have used the same syntax of YML file, and now they have brought in a concept called as stacks. Okay. So for understanding stacks, we need to go with services. Basically you don't need to do any of these if you are using Kubernetes, by the way. Okay. But still, since it is a new concept, let us explore it. Okay. For that, basically I'm not sure whether I'll be able to make it up this week, so I'll be taking an extra classes next week for this activity, stack and compose related activities. But for this week our focus will be on the file instructions, and then we'll be looking at basically networking and Kubernetes. Okay. Because Kubernetes is where the jobs are, not really in stacks or services. But since it is a new thing which can easily, we can simulate some of the things easily in the local machine itself, it makes sense. So we'll be discussing that aspects over the next weekend. Okay. Fine. So officially this compose, stack and service are not part of our practice also. Okay. Because this is something which I wanted to give because it's a relatively new concept and it might be helpful. Okay. Not for your interviews, but if you want to simulate some cumulative kind of a workflow in your local systems. Okay. ఎప్పుడన్నా ఆఫీస్ లో, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, if you want to simulate the architecture of the traditional 3-tier on your local machine itself, then this will make sense. Okay. అంతే, ఆ కేసులోనే ఉపయోగపడుతుంది ప్రస్తుతానికి. Okay. Once Docker adds many features to it and Swarm becomes something which people are using in production, then this makes more sense. Okay. ప్రస్తుతానికి Swarm కన్నా Kubernetes deployments ఎక్కువ ఉన్నాయి. So that's why obviously our favor will be towards Kubernetes. Fine. Okay. So now we were writing Docker files, right? Today I'll use Windows machine itself. In this machine I have a Docker file. Let us see how it goes on Windows. Okay. Windows 10 I have installed Docker. Traditionally there should not be no difference, absolutely zero difference. Okay. So I'll be going to some folder, C drive, classroom, Docker, some more instructions. Fine. So I'll be using PowerShell. Okay. So let me get into this folder. And now I want to create a file in here, which is, what is the file name? Okay, fine. Okay. From, let us take some image. Okay. So what is that image? I want to take my base image as Ubuntu. Okay. And Ubuntu colon, what is the latest version? 16.04. This is what we have used yesterday, right? 16.04. Okay. And we know this instruction also, maintainer. Okay. And run. Fine. Will this work? Yes, no? If you just put this and try to build, your container will fail the building, because it would ask for a user input. Do you want to continue? Yes or no? So, okay. And then CMD, I'm writing a very basic CMD, which is echo hello world. This was the first image which we have written, if I'm not wrong, right? Okay. So in this we have, since we are working on Apache, we might say that, okay, it is going to expose. Okay. And then if I want to copy some file, I'll be using copy or add instruction for the HTML, and we have looked into all of that. Today the instruction which I'm interested in is env, environment. Okay. An environment variable. Okay. So I'd be just saying env instruction. So let us just look into the, let us just Google for it. Docker. Okay. File env. Okay. So env, and then we would be telling what is the environment variable's name and what is its value. And if you want to use that anywhere else in your instruction, you would be using a syntax which is dollar and yes. So what I'd be doing is, I'd be creating an environment variable called as start underscore folder. What is it? Start underscore folder. And basically in this, let me go to a folder where there is a value of it. Make sense? Okay. Now basically what I want with that variable is, whenever you set whatever the environment variable is, when you log in into this container, it should be in that folder. If you remember, yesterday we have created a Tomcat container and we were logging into this. Generally the container starts at root folder, but in the case of Tomcat container, it was in Tomcats folder, directly in the Tomcats folder. So how is that possible? Okay, we are trying to do the same thing. That is possible just by simply an instruction called as workdir. Basically over here, are you seeing the workdir? In the workdir, if you give any folder, it would be over there. So work there, and I don't want it to be static. I want it to be basically whatever I pass. So I want to use dollar start underscore. Making sense? Yeah. So I can give a static value also there in workdir. I can say that var www, I can directly write it. But the only point which I want to do is I want to define it as an environment variable, because tomorrow while starting this container I can change that value. Okay. నేను ఇలా కూడా రాసేయచ్చు, ఇది చేయాల్సిన పని లేదు. I could have directly written workdir. So it will always start from there. But now in this case, what I'm trying to give is I'm trying to make it configurable. So whenever you define something called as an environment variable, you can define a key and a value, and you can change that values from while starting the container. మీ కంటైనర్ స్టార్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఆ వాల్యూని మార్చుకోవచ్చు. Okay, but if you don't do that, you will be hard coding. So if you want to parameterize, the way of parameterize in Docker file is env. Okay, so let us see how this goes. Let me save this file. And what is an instruction to build? Docker info. Let me see if Docker is running. Yes, Docker is running. So Docker build -t test colon 1.0. This is my images name, and so Docker doesn't change much. If you install on a Windows 10 machine, you can use it almost from anywhere. PowerShell is the right place to be used. But if you see, there is no difference between the command which you have typed on a Linux machine yesterday and what I'm doing on a Windows machine. Absolutely zero change. Okay. So it is doing apt-get update. Our network, right? It would be slow. Yesterday it was running on AWS network, so downloads will be relatively faster. So with every run command, what happens? A layer will be created in your hard disk. Remember that. Okay. So layers of this will be equivalent to layers of Ubuntu plus one layer for the run command. So we have only one run command, so we'll have one layer. Okay. And apart from that, we will have one thin read-write layer for image or container. Read-write layer దేనికి ఉంటుంది? Image ka container ka? Image kada. Are we clear on that? Okay. So thin read-write layer will be for the container, and any changes which you are doing on the container will be on the read-write layer, not on the underneath layers. And the file system which we use is basically called as union file system. In the case of Red Hat machines, they call it as overlay file system, but the whole concept is they would try to do it. And even in NTFS, they have used a concept called as NTFS plus registries to basically create the same stuff. The whole purpose is that each operating system might call it differently. Okay. So even Windows has implemented that in NTFS, the Windows NT file system. Yeah. Man, I should not have put apt-get update, I think. Or I should have stopped at apt-get update. Good. So now Docker images. Am I seeing test? Yes. So Docker run -it test colon 1.0. Okay. And /bin. So where it should start? Var www, because that was my default value. Let us see if it goes over there. Is it starting at that path? Yes. Okay, now let me run the same command again. Docker, okay, run -it, and apart from that, I'm just going to tell e start underscore folder is equals to var. So what is it I'm trying to do over here? What is start underscore folder? So let me go to that file. Okay, what is start underscore folder? Environment variable. Now I'm using docker e, okay, and then I'm doing this. Syntactically something wrong. So the way I'm using e might be wrong. 1 minute. No. Let me just look at the command line reference. I generally tend to forget this, the way of using CLI. Docker run -e. Good. This is a very old documentation. Okay. Docker run CLI. Okay. -env. Yeah. So let me look at some examples. Just basically try to tell me if you are able to see anything like -e over here. -e. -e. Yeah, stuff was right. Docker run start underscore folder. It should work, but it was not doing that, right? Why not? Did I missed anything? Am I missing anything over here? -e or env is same. -env. So you can either use this or I'm still at this path, right? Okay. Okay, so let me use one command over here. Docker. This should work, man. Very simple stuff. That's fine. I'm overriding that, right? The whole point of me using this was I was trying to override it. And now whenever I say env start folder, I'm trying to override it from by passing e. So this value should be overridden ideally. So I'm missing out something. That's what I'm checking out for. What is it? ఆ ఫోల్డర్ లేదంటారా? ఫోల్డర్ ఉంటది కదండి. Okay, let me try some other folder. It's not happening. So HTML folder will be there. So there is, okay, fine. Let me build a new version of it. I want to kill all the containers. So docker rm -f dollar docker ps -a -q. So let me write the other version of it. Okay. So echo let me use this. Fine. Okay. So I want to build the second version of it now. Docker build -t test colon 1.1 and dot. So it says that it has already tagged it. Good. Docker run test colon 1.1. Ah, I'm doing foolish mistakes today. Yeah, man. So you don't require to use this double quotes, right? Why do you require this? So let us quickly build one more image. Test colon 1.2. This is called as unnecessary versioning. Yeah. Okay. 1.2. What is it trying to tell? It is trying to tell that it is not able to find. So there is something going wrong with respect to that expansion. Good. At least now we have a reason. Fine. Docker env. I'll do one thing. I'll go to the image which I know very well, which I've been using it. So Docker hub let me go to an image called as OpenMRS. And come on. Okay. Okay. OpenMRS. Good. Okay. So let us go to the Docker file of this. Docker file. Okay. Hmm. Let me look at the stuff over here. Hmm. If equal to was the reason, then we don't have equals to also here. Okay. Fine. Worried about the syntaxes. They're good. Should work, man. Not finding out the reason why it is. Okay. Let me lastly try with this. If it is not working out, I'll try to do the same thing at the later point of time. So let me try to do this. Okay. And let me add one more stuff. Run echo start underscore folder. So while building the image itself, I should be able to find out what is the image value for this. So I don't think so there is something wrong in this, but it's good. Okay. Docker build -t. What was the last version? 1.2, right? So is it saved first of all? Yes. Good. We got this. Now Docker run -it test colon 1.3. It says echo command is not found. Okay. Let me do one thing. So /bin/. Okay. So I want to kill this container. It's okay. Exit. Now what is it I want to do? I want to set the environment variable -e start underscore folder is equals to HTML. Great. Let me do the last attempt. If it is not working, I'll look back to it and I'll stop the discussion of this and let me look back to it offline and find out what is the reason. Moment. We have the value. If you see, environment variable is changed, but somehow it is not printing. Okay. Okay. So environment variable will be set after you get inside the Docker, not while getting into the Docker. And when we get into the Docker, the environment variable is not set. So that's why your workdir, right? Workdir cannot be changed. Let me try to change my image. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with this behavior, guys. Sorry. So let me try to change my example. My example was wrong. Okay. Fine. What I would try to do is, let me not use workdir. Workdir, let it be with var www itself, because no hard coding. Since this is not possible, Docker has given a new command line argument called as -w. Work, if you want to change your workdir, the only way for you to change is Docker run -w and give a new directory so that it will be started. It cannot be set from environment variable. This is a known issue. My bad. Sorry for that. Okay. So the ideal way of changing work directory is, rather than this, use something called as -w. Okay. And where since this is not possible like that, they have explicitly given this command. My bad, guys. Sorry for that. Yeah, my example was wrong. Okay. So for example, in Jenkins, whenever we are launching, I want to change the home directory. Let us assume I want to change the home directory. Anything which you write as an environment, will be provided to the container as an environment variable. So for example, let me do this. Okay. I have this command, right? Sometimes bad example haunts you very badly. Okay. See, what is the value of start folder? Yes. And now let us assume that you want to start certain command into it. Okay. So what I do is control PQ. Let me remove IT, or let me remove IT over here. So I don't want to get inside this container. Oh man, what is the problem with this now? Command. Okay. Entry point. Echo. Make sense? Yeah. What is it I have done now? This is the last problem which I want to solve. Docker build -t test colon 1.4 and then dot. Why it is saying bin/sh? Did I give anything called as bin/sh by any chance? No. Okay, man. Let me solve this problem later because we have to discuss networking. I'll just take this image and find out why it is not working, and I'll try to tell you in the next class. The whole point is the bin and the start folder echo is not working. I have to find out what is the reason for that. Okay. So two instructions which we have discussed today are, okay, env. Env is for setting environment variables inside container. Okay, so for example, if you have to change the Java home variable, you want to say change the Jenkins home variable, you can override these values by putting docker run -e and then do it. And inside the container also you can change it, but generally we don't do that, right? Once the container is start, we will not get into it. While learning we will be getting into it, but in production you will never get into your container. And then we have something called as workdir. What is the purpose of workdir? To set the starting folder. Yesterday in the Tomcat, the starting folder was different. How they set that? By using workdir. Can I basically change the workdir while starting the container? Yes. For that you have to use the -w command line argument. -w was not there earlier. Okay, -w was not there earlier because of this problem with respect to setting the workdir. Workdir setting cannot be done by environment variable. So that's the reason they have changed this behavior. Fine. So one thing which I have to clear in this image is, why is that echo statement not working? Let me look it out offline, because we have to discuss a more important topic than this. Okay, fine. Okay, very important topic. Okay, till now we have been discussing about uh, the containers which basically we are restricted to one machine, but in reality you will be working with systems which are spanned across machines. Okay, two machines having docker, or three machines having docker. How is the networking setup among themselves? Okay, so how can I launch a container in one machine which speaks with the container which is running on the other machine? So how are these networks created? That is a very important aspect. Okay, because in reality we cannot launch all of our containers in one machine. Okay, so to make this setup possible, I am going to go to the uh, AWS quickly and create two Linux machines, two different Linux machines, and then I want to set up a network between these two. Okay, that's the whole agenda. So let me go ahead and okay. So IB, what is it? Hmm. And in the meantime, get docker dot hyphen dot sh. I think this is a better way. Oh, this one. This is what I have to run, right? Okay. So let me go ahead. EC2. I'll be creating two machines. Okay. I'm saying that I'm interested in two machines. I don't want to basically okay. So let me use this. I'm using something different because that is a startup script is what I'm trying to set up. What is the syntax of it? Hash and exclamation. Man, I have it there itself. Okay. Okay. And what is the next command? I'm trying to add or execute this script during the startup itself. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so that I can directly see the machine where the Docker is already installed or already working. And then at the last, I need to basically Docker. One last thing which I want to do. Fine. Okay. So I want to add the user also, right? So sudo. Yes. This is the command which I want to add. So I'll go over here. And the default user name for Ubuntu machine is Ubuntu. Fine. So I'd say Docker, just Docker. Fine. And let me add a rule where I open all the TCP ports. I'm okay with insecure machine as of now, but in reality, I'll never do this. Okay. Launch. If I'm not wrong, I'm quite sure that I have this PEM file. Yeah. Launch instances. So basically, this machines, if that script runs correctly, there is no need for us to install Docker. Docker will be installed and everything will be done. So it is like a startup script. Okay. Because I don't want to log in into two machines and then install the work on my own. Now, so basically, let us get into this networking. Okay. For a single machine, whenever we speak of Docker, we are speaking already about two networks. Whenever you are speaking about Docker, you are already speaking about two networks, because one is the host network. The other one is a network which your container is getting. Okay. So because every container has its own user space, which means that it would be getting its own process tree, its own network, and basically its own file system, right? So how is that being created? Okay. That process is not very much different from what virtual machines are doing. So if you go into your machine and create a virtual machine, your virtual machine also will get network, right? So దానికి ఎలాగైతే నెట్వర్క్ వస్తుందో దీనికి అలాగే వస్తుంది. That's not a very great deal. Okay, that is called as a host only network. Basically, the network that is created for a container, you will be able to access the container, but not the person outside your network. So for that reason itself, we use port forwarding. So what is essentially port forwarding? Port forwarding is giving an access to the container via your machine's port. That's what we have been doing, right? So Docker run -p 80:80. What do I mean by that? So the 80 port of the container, map it to the 80 port of your container and expose it to the outer world. So anyone who is able to access your host will be able to access the container's port also, because they cannot access the container directly. Okay. So what are the different options that are present with respect to networking of this? That's the overall agenda around it. Okay. So when we speak of Docker, these are the three important things which we need to discuss about: CNM, libnetwork, and drivers. Okay. Container network model, libnetwork, and drivers. Okay. 1 minute. There are some questions around that. This much do you want me to read in the class? That too with a person as much lazy as what I am. Okay. Read or write layer. Okay. So for the people who are not understanding read and write layer, please refer yesterday's class. My whole discussion in the yesterday for the last half an hour was basically on read and write layer. Okay. Fine. So CNM, libnetwork, and drivers. When the Docker started, Docker networking was not strong, much like virtual machines. Even when the virtual machines started, the networking concept of them was not strong, because that is not their major focus. Their major focus was, how do I create an operating system within an operating system? So then they have created the networking stuff. The same thing has happened with Docker also. they were not very strong on the networking. Now what they have done is, okay, initially networking was part of Docker engine. Now they have separated, and there is altogether a different command line for network, okay, which is Docker network. It was not the case earlier. Before Docker 1.110, they had a beta there. 1.12 it got stabilized, but before Docker 1.12, there was no Docker network command. Okay, the only thing which you were able to do was with respect to something called as linking containers and all of that. Now it is no longer required. Link is a very old concept. Okay, so now Docker containers also do have a network. Okay, and these are the commands. So you can create a network, you can connect the network, you can disconnect the network, you can see what are the networks that are available, you can inspect the network, many things. Okay, fine. Now what is CNM? CNM is nothing but a specification document. Okay, CNM tells how the Docker networking should be. Okay, and libnetwork is an implementation of it. Container network model another document lantadi. That is where the requirements are being specified. Okay, there is a GitHub location also where you can go and see what are the different networkings that have to be supported, and the implementation of the CNM or container network model is done by libnetwork. Okay, and basically they didn't wanted everything to be plugged in into the lib network, so they have given an extensibility called as drivers. So for example, in Windows, the networking which we use is basically based out of NAT drivers. Okay, whereas in Linux, that's not the scenario. So tomorrow, if you want to implement your own networking for some other protocol on IoT device or Arduino or whatever it is, you can go ahead and write your own driver. Okay, so driver is a pluggable communication implementation. Okay, a specific implementation. So that's what you would try. So I've tried to put the CNM document itself. That's a document. CNM is not an implementation, and that is being implemented by libnetwork, and then we would have drivers. I will show you what those drivers are. So there are two popular models in container networking. Okay, one is container network model, the other one is container network interface. Container network model is adapted by Docker and Swarm, whereas CNI is used in Kubernetes. So whenever you are using Kubernetes, we are not going to use the same Docker network command. The networking of Kubernetes is altogether different, right? But when you come to a Docker's orchestration tool called as Docker Swarm, which is alternative of Kubernetes from the Docker itself. Okay, so there we will be using CNM. So which is good, which is bad? The whole point is CNI is quite matured when compared to CNM. Because Docker, when it comes to Kubernetes is not just only about Docker containers. They have other containerization supports also. They have brought in a model which is much more, or I would say that which is much more used rather than popularity of it. Okay, so now the CNM is becoming stronger. Okay, so now if you go and install Docker Enterprise Edition, you have both CNI and CNM. Okay, which means that you can create the Kubernetes as well as Docker Swarm in the same machine. That's the whole point. That's where Docker is moving towards. Okay, fine. So these are the three important aspects of container network model: sandbox, endpoint, and network. So let us see what they are. Okay, CNM basically specifies what they are, and okay, and what does libnetwork do? Libnetwork implements that, and it implements that in a Go language. Okay, and I've discussed about a Go a lot of times in this class when we spoke about Terraform, when we spoke about all of this. This is a language where you can build cross-platform applications without any additional software requirements. For example, if this was written in Java, let us assume, then I had to install Java JDK or JRE on the machine. Similarly, if it was installed on a Python, I have to install Python. Okay, but the advantage of Go or languages like C or C++ is there is no need of any installation. They would directly compile into the native operating system instructions. So it is written in Go language. right? And the drivers are specific communication protocol implementation. Okay, NAT, VLAN, all of the stuff. For example, if you want to implement a new protocol, you would be writing a driver, not a libnetwork, because libnetwork will contain the basic essentials for the networking to work. And then if you want a specific implementation, you can go ahead and write your own implementation of that. So tomorrow, if you want to use it, for example, let us assume that you want to use it for point-to-point networks or peer-to-peer communication, where there is discovery kind of protocols, then go ahead and write your own driver. So they are releasing some drivers, but they don't stop you from writing your own drivers. That's the whole approach of this. Okay, now I'll not get into this the control plane, management plane, and data plane. This is very much for the people who are already into networking. Okay, CCNA kind of stuff. I'm quite sure that you understand what that slide is. Okay, fine, but let us look into this. This is important for us. So when I said initially Docker network was part of Docker engine, now it is not. Now it is completely separated out, and there is a network called as libnetwork. Okay, and libnetwork has an implementation, basic implementation or basic features like service discovery, where you would have DNS name resolutions and all of that. Okay, so you would have load balancing, and these are the kind of features that are implemented as part of libnetwork. And then you have native drivers. Native drivers are which get shipped as part of Docker installation. మీరు డాకర్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయగానే కొన్ని డ్రైవర్స్ వస్తాయి, దట్ ఈస్ అ నేటివ్ ఇన్స్టలేషన్. బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్, you can purchase also third-party drivers, or you can go ahead and write your own drivers. Okay, so for example, if you are looking out for a specific implementation which has been done by some company, you can go and buy that implementation and plug in into libnetwork. Okay, we are not going to do that, but if you want, you can do it. Okay, fine. So basic features are already available in this, so that your Docker can scale. Okay, the only thing which you need to look at is what is the driver which I need to use and how do I connect them. What is the driver which I will be using and I'll be connecting them. So if you see over there, the features which I'm showing over there, like distributed key value store, gossip protocol, all of these are basically for multi-machine setups. Okay, whenever you are storing some state in the cluster kind of setups, you need to maintain the state. ఏ మెషిన్ లో ఏది ఉంది, ఏది ఎక్కడ ఉంది, ఇలాంటివన్నీ కీ వాల్యూస్ లో స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటాం. when we are elaborate on Kubernetes also, we'll be discussing about a key value store over there. So it is very important when you are orchestrating that the values are stored somewhere. So you have all of this in libnetwork now. Okay, fine. So the whole point is we have this new, altogether a different command which was not there earlier. I should not call it as new, at least right now, but it was not there till Docker 1.110. Okay, so Docker network is a separate command. Okay, earlier if you want to create networking, there was no way. You had to work with Docker run or Docker exe, this kind of command itself. There was no special command for Docker network. So what basically was done with respect to Docker after 1.12 is they have created the commands like Docker network, similarly Docker volume. There is no need for you to use -v and then try to go ahead with it. You can create a volume from here itself. Remember, we were giving -v and all of that. Okay, you can already create a volume and mount it onto your machine by using this command. Okay, so I'll be looking at Docker network. Okay, and let us see the basic options over here. So Docker network ls. So these are already the drivers or the networking components that are being installed. So for example, you have a bridge network, you have a host network, and you have a null network. So bridge network is basically for when you want to communicate across the containers. Okay, host is only from your machine to that container. Null is not at all connected to your network. So you want to launch a container which is in a network in which you will also not be able to basically ping anything into that. Then why do I need that container? Even I am not sure, but you can do that. So you can create a container inside that machine and you will not be able to access it. Okay, ఎందుకు కావాలన్న దానికి నా దగ్గర లాజిక్ లేదు కానీ కుదురుద్ది. ఓకే ఫైన్. So that is a none or null whatever you are seeing. So for example, whenever I am creating my own network, the most important thing which even in the last command, if you are seeing, the driver is important. The driver will tell your behavior. So let us try to understand some drivers which will give us a basic introduction. Okay fine. Now whenever you are seeing scope, whenever it says local, it is meant for single host. When it is multi-host, Docker calls it as swarm. Okay, whenever you have created a network which spans across multiple machines, you call it as swarm. Okay fine. Now let us try to understand these things: single host networking and multi-host networking. Single host networking, this is something which we have been doing till now. Okay, so now let me go ahead, okay, and then do this: Docker run hyphen name, okay, c1 ubuntu, okay, /bin/ oh, we have not used, don't have ubuntu, right? We have ubuntu colon 16.04. Yeah, I want to come out of this machine. Fine. Similarly, I'll be creating another machine. Okay, so can I ping c1? Oh man, I don't have ping utils itself. So what was the command which we have used for installing ping utils? Let me see what is the sample which I'm using in this. That's all fine. I'll be using some sample. Let me install ping utilities. We have installed it in our classes also. I don't remember the command. iputils-ping or something like that. Yeah. Installing ping on Ubuntu container. So that would be basically taken directly to that. That's it, right? So let me go ahead and use this. apt-get update. Names. నేను ఎక్కడ నుండి రన్ చేస్తున్నాను సార్? పవర్ షెల్ నుండి. పవర్ షెల్ నుండి రన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇంకో మెషిన్ ఎక్కడ నుండి వస్తుంది? అది ల్యాప్టాప్ లో రన్ చేస్తున్నాను. C1 C2 same machine, same different containers running on the same machine. ఒకటనే 100 ఉన్నాయి ల్యాప్టాప్లు ఇక్కడ. Are you getting the point? This is my Windows PowerShell. I am running from my laptop. How come it will be multiple host? Are you getting the whole point? Yes. Okay. ఈ క్వశ్చన్ మీరు ఉబంటు లినక్స్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు అడిగినా నేను బాధపడేవాడిని కాదండి. ఓకే ఫైన్. సో we are in the machine C2, right? So let me try to ping C1. Am I able to use it? ఇంకా రాలేదా? ఓ అప్డేట్ ఎలా వస్తుంది? Let me type it. apt-get install iputils-ping, right? Okay, so ping C1. What is it saying? Okay, now what I will do is docker, okay, inspect. So let me do ps, or we know the container's name, right? Docker inspect C2, because this is a container which I have logged in. Okay, so am I getting some details about the network? Yes. What is the IP address of it? Okay. Similarly, I want Docker inspect C1. What is the IP address of it? 3. So now let me log in into this machine. Docker exec -it, and the container which I want to get into is C2, and /bin/bash. So ping 172.17.0.3. Is it able to ping? Yes. So in the network, whatever I have not created the network. I'm going with the default network. In the default network, what is happening is I am able to ping from one container to other container by its IP address, but not by its name. Do you agree to that? నేను C2 నుండి C1 అంటే తెలుస్తలేదు దానికి. But if I give IP address, it is happening. So what is the service that will convert this names into IP addresses? DNS server. So in the default network that is created, the DNS service is switched off. That is the important point. So whenever you install Docker, you will get a default network. That's what you and me have been using all these days. In this default network, the name resolutions will not be done. Okay. If you want name resolutions to be done, you have to create your own network. You have to create your own network. Okay. So for that, you have to go ahead and tell that Docker network create and use some commands around it. Okay. Fine. So did you got the whole point? Whenever we have been installing Docker, do we have a network already? Yes. So what are the different networks that are available? Docker network ls. Okay. So for example, now you can also say Docker network inspect bridge. In the earlier case, I was inspecting container. Now I am inspecting the particular network. Okay. If you see, I was using, this was the default network that was being used. Okay. Okay. So it says IPv6 is disabled. Okay. The driver is default driver. It is internal attachable. Okay. Config only false, and it says that there are 2 containers that are running in, or 3 containers that are running in this network, which is C2, C1, and there is one more container over here. And basically there are the following options which you see. Okay. So you can inspect the machine for the network, or you can inspect the basic network itself and find out what are the containers that are running inside this container. So by default, the network which will be used on your machine is a bridge network. Okay. If you don't want bridge network, and if you want to basically create on a different network, then you have to tell while creating the container itself that, okay, I want to create this container on that network. But remember, it is not possible for you to change the network after the Docker has been created. Okay. Create చేసేటప్పుడు నేను ఏ నెట్వర్క్ అయినా ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు, but once it is created, you can't move it. Okay. So let me kill them. So Docker ps or Docker rm -f $docker ps -a -key. Okay. Now let me execute the same command. So if you see container section, it is not filled now because we have removed the containers. So there is a network, but on this network there is no container that is running. Fine. So by default, the network which we have been using is bridge network, and the default bridge network cannot resolve the other container by its name, but if you give IP address, they can communicate. Okay. So how the bridge network will be present is, it would be something like this. It would be like a LAN in your machine. Okay, so what is a LAN? In LAN you can connect multiple machines, right? Similarly, bridge network, what it does is it will try to create a network where multiple containers in your machine can connect to this network. Okay, so basically I want to do all of these exercises on Linux machine, not on Windows machine. So I'll be logging into the cloud and doing the samples from here on Linux. Okay, is it fine? But you should be able to execute the same commands on Windows machines also, but reality is mostly would be using Linux machines. So I'll log in into that Linux machines. So let us see if that machines are created. So services, they should be created by now. Okay, so let me connect to one of the machine. Man, I don't have a key. భాస్కర్ ఆ మెషిన్ లో ఆ మెషిన్ ఈ నెట్వర్క్ కే కనెక్ట్ చేయగలరా? నాకు ఆ పెమ్ ఫైల్ కావాలి. పెమ్ ఫైల్ ఇందులో లేదు. Today I have changed my machine. Sorry for that. Okay, let me try to do one thing. I will show this on that machine, but let us try it on Windows machine also. Okay, in the meantime I don't want to waste your time. So what is the command which he is trying to tell? Docker network create, and then he's telling -d. -d will tell you the driver. Yeah, -d, which is the driver. లేదండి వదిలేండి, రేపటి క్లాస్లో చూద్దాం. ఇంకా 10 minutes లో అవ్వదు కూడా కదా. Okay, so driver, and then you are telling the subnet range for that. Subnet range is what is the range of your network. Okay, so shall we try to create the same thing over here? So Docker network create, and then whenever you are creating you can give certain parameters like what is the driver. So in my case the driver is bridge, and in any case if you are finding any issues just use this. Okay, or go to the web page and then you will be able to find out what are the different values which you can pass. Bridge. Okay, and what are the other things? Name. So hyphen name. So let me call it as Qt bridge. Okay, and apart from that I need to tell the range of IP addresses in this. Okay, so let me go ahead and give subnet 10.10.10.0/24, which means that the containers created in this machine will have an IP address of 10.10.10.x, where x is between e value between 1 to 255. That is what I tried to give over here. Okay, so what is that? Name. There is no need for name. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so Docker network ls. Are we seeing our bridge network which we have created? Yes, and then you can just say Docker network inspect Qt-bridge. Okay, you can do the same activities on Linux also, and I want you to do it on a Linux machine because I'm sure that many of you people don't have Windows 10 installed on your machines. Do the same activity. Don't try this on Windows 7, not going to happen. Okay, there is no point in trying it on Windows 7 because in Windows 7 if you are trying, you are doing it on a Linux machine already. So don't do it on Windows 7. Try to do it either on Windows 10 or Linux machine. Okay, so now are you seeing it? Is it giving the default stuff which we have added? Now let me try to create a containers within it. So the only one stuff which we want to do is you have to tell about a network. Yeah, okay, so Docker run -it, the same thing which I have done as in the earlier section. Name c1. Okay, and hyphen network. Our network is qt hyphen bridge, and the container which I want to launch is Ubuntu, and then I am saying bin slash bash. I am not giving this sleep one day. Sleep one day is this container will run for one day and then it would stop. It is a most useless command. It is only useful only when you are trying something. Okay, so never use sleep. నేను అప్పుడేదో అది since that was newly introduced, I was fascinating about it. Nothing apart from that. Okay, so fine. Control PQ. Now let me just do docker inspect and then C1. So what should be the IP address of the container? 10.10.10.x. So what is the IP address of the machine which I got? 10.10. Is it falling under our range, our network? Okay, so let me try to do the same activity, but this time on C2. Okay, now let me try to type ping. Oh man, I have to get update. So let me create an image with this so that it would be easy for me. It will have ping already installed. Again, I have to install iputils ping. So in the default network, was it working ping C1? No. I should have created an image, man. Okay, so apt-get install iputils hyphen ping. Okay, so first is which was working 10.10.10.2. This was working now. Yes, working. So when you create a network, the name resolution also starts working, because by default in the default networking, which default bridge network, name resolution is disabled. But if you create your own bridge network, you can speak to the other container by its names also. Okay, so this is basically from libnetwork. In libnetwork, if you see, there was DNS or a name resolution service that is coming into play and helping us out. So you can create any containers on this bridge network, and they would be able to resolve each other by their names. Okay, which was not the case earlier, which is not the case even today when you are speaking with default networks, because in the default network they don't enable all the services. Okay, fine. So can a Docker container be resolved by a name? Yes, if you create your own bridge network. Okay, so now let us assume that you created a container and your system and my system are in the same network. There you have created C2 and here I have created C1. You have your bridge and I have my bridge. So can we able to speak with each other? Not possible. Okay, at least because architecturally this is how it would look like. I think I've shown that image. That is your bridge, it is my bridge. The only way I would be able to speak by you is using my host machines network, not by this bridge network, because this bridge network doesn't know anything about it. Okay, fine. Okay, so if I have to make this possible, then probably I might need to get into the multi-host networking. But in a single host networking, you can create containers, you can create as many containers in the same network, and they would be able to resolvable each other by name also when you create your own network. but by default they would be able to resolve it only by IP addresses. Why is this important? Why am I stressing this point? Because tomorrow you will be creating a container which has a Tomcat application, and then you would have a MySQL container. So whenever you are putting a connection string in that, so that the web server needs to speak with a database, okay, how your connection string should look like. If you are using a default network, your connection string should have IP address. But if you are using your own bridge network, you can use either the IP address or name of that container, whatever makes sense. Okay, so generally it is sensible to use name of the container rather than to use an IP address. Okay, so that's the whole stuff. So tomorrow whenever you're installing an application, your application server will be on one container and database is on another container, and if you have created both in the same network, you would be able to resolve it by name. That's the whole point. Okay, that's a single host networking. Okay, so I think we have done this, right? Inspect and all of that, and we were able to basically ping with each other. So this is what is happening. C1 and C2 containers. Okay, fine. Now the end point, right? If you do if config on this machine, you would be getting that on eth0 you got this network. Okay, and that's how it is being able to connect to this stuff. Okay, and these tests, are we clear from these tests now? Pinging one container to other container by its name and by its IP address. Okay, so this is what I would start tomorrow's class from, multi-host networking. Okay, so this is required here. The multi-host networking means Swarm, Docker Swarm. So I'll be just introducing the networking aspect of Docker Swarm to understand multi-host networking, but our multi-host networking we will be using basically in Kubernetes. Okay, but we need to understand this, how it works, and then the other aspects of the compose, as I said, for the stacks, I'll be doing it on the next week. Okay, fine. So see, please don't write too much lengthy questions. It's very difficult. Antunnappudu mail rayandi. Okay, what if the containers are in different bridge networks? They cannot communicate. Then you have to come to the host network to communicate. So if the containers are in different bridge networks, they cannot communicate directly. You have to use some intermediary mechanism. So intermediary mechanism is come to the host network and then ping with each other. So if that is possible. Okay, so fine. Okay, can you make the configuration of the bridge in configuration file? Which configuration file? So what was the CLI then? CLI user defined కాకుండా అదే కొట్టేసుకుంటుందా? So what is the configuration? I'm interested in not in configuration file. I'm interested in the configuration which you are asking about. What is that you want to set? అది కదా important. ఫైల్ ఇదా కాకుండా ఏమి సెట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను అది ఇంపార్టెంట్. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ యూ వాంట్ టు సెట్? Oh, is it? File, how, if the file was reusable, there is no need for any CLI command, right? So in a network, what is important? What is the different parameters which are required for connecting to the network? Anyone can answer it. Okay, network ఏమేం కావాలి? Whenever you are creating a network, what is important? Subnet is important. Are you able to give subnet from the CLI? Are you able to give the name of your network from the CLI? Yes. మీ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ ఫైల్లో ఎంతకు మించి ఎక్కువ ఏమి ఉండదు. So there is no need for configuration. Configuration file comes into play when you are playing with lot of parameters. You don't have lot here. You are just defining a subnet range. You are telling what is the driver. You are telling the name of the network. ఈ మూడింటికి ఫైల్ పెట్టుకుంటే చాదత్తంగా ఉంటుంది. సో మీకు కావాల్సిన రీయూజబిలిటీ కావాలంటే put it in a shell file, share the shell script, make it argument kind of a stuff. That's the only thing. It's not, you don't need a configuration file. You need a configuration file whenever you are doing a complicated stuff. Here you are not doing complicated stuff. You are just defining the range, you are telling the driver, and you are telling the name. ఈ మూడే పారామీటర్లు, దీనికి ఫైల్ ఎందుకు? యా, దట్స్ ద హోల్. మూడు ఉన్నప్పుడు పాసిబిలిటీ ఉన్నా చేస్తాం, అనవసరం అంటున్నాను. యా, ఓకే, ఫైన్, థ్యాంక్స్. So let us meet tomorrow and discuss about Kubernetes and multi-host networking. Okay, fine. Bhaskar, Hyperledger PEM file నాకు మెయిల్ చేశాను, so that I'll download it in this machine.
ఏమో కనపడలా నేను ఆయన